I'm sneaking in a quick video before the Baltimore Ravens face the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and I gotta tell you, I am predicting the Baltimore Ravens will just stomp the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a money-back guarantee. All right, I'm just kidding. I just watched the Kansas City Chiefs go into Baltimore and rip out the all the hopes of the remaining Harbaugh brother and rip all of our hearts out, and I just cannot tell you how sick I am of the Kansas City Chiefs, of Andy Reid, of Patrick Mahomes. I guess I can tell you, I'm preaching to the choir. We are all so sick of that team and Travis Kelce and all that. That narrative has got to end, and the only hope for the NFL truly is the Denver Broncos rising back to the perennial power that we've been for the entire history of this franchise up until our most recent 7 years. And I do believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel. If I didn't believe that, I'd quit this channel and I would walk away. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I break down all things Denver sports. I'm glad you're here, and I got some cool news, some good things to share to kind of bring us to that point. I want to look at the light at the end of the tunnel that I see that just happened this weekend. So a couple big things is that Sean Payton is continuing to mold this team to his liking. And we need that consistency year over year. Andy Reid has had that with the Kansas City Chiefs, which is why they reflect who he is. And so Sean Payton slowly but surely is doing that with his team, and he's taken the successful pieces from New Orleans and bringing them here, and that continues today. And so today, the big news of the day is that he is poaching one of his favorite scouters of college talent. And so who he is bringing over is Cody Rager. Man, that guy knows how to party. With the last name Rager, you better believe he knows how to party. So he's been in New Orleans really helping with the scouting for the past 9 years. And if you look at some of his big successes and things that Sean Payton has specifically said about Rager, is he gives a ton of credit for Alvin Kamara, who was drafted way far down for the level of talent he is as one of the best fantasy players out there. He catches the ball, he runs, he is a difference maker. I think if we had Kamara, we'd feel pretty dang good right now. And what you see here is that Sean Payton, in an interview, gave ultimate credit to Cody Rager and just said, hey, Cody was the one who banged his fist on the table and said, we got to get this guy. And so they made some trades with different teams and were able to move up and get Alvin Kamara. So that's a good thing. You see, there's a lot of talent on that team that he was initially a part of drafting. Marshawn Lattimore, he certainly has a knack for this, and I think the more Sean Payton can bring into the fold the success that we have, because I know he's made some real boneheaded contract moves in the contract he gave to Russ, the contract he gave to Randy Gregory and Frank Clark and all of that. But I do believe George Paton is a great drafter, and just look at his first draft and all the players in his first draft who, could have made Pro Bowls had we been a more successful team in the wins and loss column. So I like the fact that you roll in Cody Rager with the infrastructure that we have, and let's see what happens. Other interesting thing that I've seen recently floated is who is going to be playing quarterback next year for the Denver Broncos. And there are a lot of people on my YouTube comments. I love reading those comments. I read every single one, and my wife is always like, put your phone down. Let's talk. But I'm always just reading what y'all say, because you're super smart, and it's fun to read all your comments on here. So a lot of people have been asking, do you think the Broncos are going to draft a quarterback at 12? Do you think it's going to be Russell Wilson? Do you think we're going to bring in Jameis Winston? What's going to happen next year? And so every year in the NFL, it's 30% of your team turns over. And certainly with where we are at the cap right now, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Garrett Bowles, Justin Simmons, Josie Jewell, all those are starters whose names have been floated about in trades or restructures or straight up cuts to get under the cap. And then obviously we benched Russell Wilson, and there are people saying both ways there. So there is so much to happen. And I already am ready to get that update, Denver Broncos restructure Cortland Sutton's contract, and I'll be thrilled. But I'm just constantly keeping my eye out for that. So truly what the Broncos are going to do with that 12th pick, I can't say. I can say what I think we should do, but I can't make an accurate prediction, because it all depends. If Sean Payton in his mind right now is like, I'm in love with Bo Nix, and I would pick him with the number 1 if I had it. Well, then if he's at 12, you go get him. But if he's not in love with Bo Nix, you don't pick him at 12 just because he's still on the board. And so I think if the quarterback Sean Payton loves is still on the board at 12, or even if he's still on the board at like 8, you package some trades. But I really would not like, I do not want to package Pat Surtain and move up unless it could get us Caleb Williams or like a surefire dude. So that's all going to be really interesting. So then there's a bunch of free agents who different plugged in people are saying could be Denver Broncos next year. You hear Sean Payton just rave about how much he loves Jameis Winston. And I mean, Jameis Winston got in some heat at the end of the year, maybe like getting his coach fired with that that play at the end of the year where he went for it on a goal line play there, right? But he's a funny dude. He seems like he's a leader of men, and Sean Payton seems to like him. We know Baker probably is going to be a free agent. We know Kirk Cousins is out there. I just think we have been around the block of like, ooh, let's slightly upgrade our quarterback with a free agent. And I remember after the Minneapolis Miracle, we got Case Keenum, and I was like, oh, this is the year. And I went out and bought his jersey, and then got Teddy Bridgewater, and I went out and got his jersey, and then, oh, we got Drew Lock, and I have like all of this, and I feel like an incremental improvement at quarterback isn't what we need. Joe Flacco, that's not what we need. We need to get the guy or build such a team that is just a loaded team that anyone can sling the rock to them. And so I feel like just dumping all your money in like a mediocre quarterback is not the way to win. But this could be a very interesting thing. Is there are a lot of news coming out here with the fact that Sam Darnold, we think back to that draft all the time where we picked Bradley Chubb, and I was furious because Josh Allen was on the board still, and we could have had Josh Allen, and we picked Bradley Chubb. Well, the reason we picked Bradley Chubb was we really wanted Sam Darnold, and Elway was about to make a massive deal to trade up to the second overall pick with the Giants when they picked Saquon Barkley to get Sam Darnold. So could Sam Darnold, who's currently with the 49ers, could he be a Denver Bronco? Could we offer him a really incentive-laden deal? And that's what this is basically saying. Like, we don't have to break the bank. We could have a deal where it's like you start this much, put the ball in his court, put the chip on his shoulder, and just say, if you hit these marks, you'll get paid out. I think he could come in, and I think he would be an upgrade from Jared Stidham, and I don't think he would break the bank obviously like a Kirk Cousins would do. So if I had to choose my free agent quarterback who I would want for the Denver Broncos to sign, it would be him, not because I think he is the most talented free agent, but I think he is the most talented where we could still surround him with talent by paying other people on the roster. So very curious to hear all of y'all in Broncos country. Who would you like the Broncos to sign? If we could have any free agent out there on the market, I will throw them all in the comments for you to decide. Thank you for rolling with me. I hope you're watching this and not watching Kermit the Frog, who's like kicking away different kickers like T stands and Taylor Swift in the stands. Like, I hope you're just riding here with the Broncos because we're in this together. This is going to be the last year we are watching the playoffs, not in it. I really, truly believe that. And I hope you do too. And I hope Broncos country, we all giddy up.